no one really knows my name. I lie awake, hoping underneath this mask you'd see my face. And I pray someone would take me away, 'cause I need change. I can't live my life this way. What if I was known? What if I had a home, someplace to stay? Don't push me away. If I didn't have to hide underneath these lies, this God I pray. I am not a waste. I do so much more than take a space. No matter what they say, well, I know I was made this way. And I pray someday I could leave this place, 'cause I need change. I can't live my life this way. What if I was known? What if I had a home, someplace to stay? Don't push me away. If I didn't have to hide underneath these lies, this God I pray. When I ran, you found me, wiped the tears from my face, wrapped your arms around me, and then began to say, my child, you are known. Yes, you have a home, someplace to stay. I'll never push you away. You don't have to hide underneath these lies. I am here always. My child, you are known. Yes, you have a home, someplace to stay. And I'll never push you away. You don't have to hide underneath these lies. I am here always. Hey, good morning. Welcome to church. We are going to sing to Jesus, the one that we need so much right now. I want you to sing along with us right there in your home. Here we go. I needed you to take my place, needed you to cleanse my heart, take away my disgrace. I needed you, just like I needed to breathe. Oh, and just at the right time, Lord, you came for me. I needed you to rescue me, needed you to give yourself so I could be redeemed. Lord, I needed you, needed a love like yours, a love that reaches on down, welcomes, comforts, cures, so you can have my have my love. It's yours, it's yours. I needed you to change my mind. Every thought was wrong, every sight was blind. But I needed you to save me from myself. You're the only one, there is no one else. So you can have my life, oh, and all my heart. Lord, you can have my love. It's yours, it's yours. I needed you to care for me, and you changed my name, called me family. I needed you to bear my wrong, needed you to call me your own, tell me I belong. So you can have my life, oh, and all my heart. Lord, you can have my love. It's yours, it's yours. So you can have my life, oh, and all my heart. Lord, you can have my love. It's yours, it's yours.
Hi there, my name is Glenn Fitzgerald, and I've been asked to share our top tips on how to deal with the current crisis that we're all dealing with right now. And I've written them down, so here's top tip number 1. Unclench your butt cheeks. That's really important. They're clenched, they're up there. I don't know what that's doing. It's not helping anything. Just relax, relax it down. You can't control the world, but you can control yourself. And it's important for us to get that relaxation going. And thing number 2 is turn off the news. Just turn it off. Look, if it's January in Chicago, I'm not checking to see if I can go outside and work on my tan. It's not going to work. It's not going to happen. It's January. It's going to be cold. It's going to be cold for a while. I might need to check to see how bad it's going to be every now and then, but I don't need to be looking at that all day, every day. That's not going to do anything but depress me about the weather. Turn off the news, super important. Tip number 3, stop shoulding yourself. You're laying on all kinds of shoulds into your life. I should be doing this, I should be doing that, I should reshingle the roof. It's been waiting all this time, we really should do it. It's the perfect time, right in the middle of a total world crisis. That's the best thing I could be doing right now is reshingling a roof, you know. It makes no sense when I say it out loud, but in your head, you've been trying to figure out all the extra chores you're supposed to pile on top of yourself on top of dealing with this whole crisis. That's crazy. Don't be crazy. Look, at the end of the day, we have to work on peace, relaxation, connecting with the people that we love, finding a stable base. That's the main thing I want for you to do right now. That's my top tip. Number 3. Number 4, eat a cookie. It's really important. Look, I've been on a diet throughout this whole thing, and you say, well, somebody throw this man a parade. Well, that's not the point. Maybe we should, but that's not the point. Even so, I was having a rough day the other day, and I said, you know what? They opened the Krispy Kreme drive-thru, where you just drive through and get your donuts. I went to Krispy Kreme, and I tore it up. It was unbelievable. I had the crumbs all over my face. And this is the thing. When you're in that mode of getting that peace and that relaxation, you're giving yourself a break, and you've got the Krispy Kreme, crumbs all over you, it's much tougher for fear to stick to you. And that's what I want for you. I want you to be free from fear. Top tip number 5 is recognizing rising up to new challenges creates new muscles, and it gives you something that's better than it ever was before. When we had this crisis, I pulled my team together and I said, okay, we are going to have to do everything all different. Most of what we do is going to have to go online, and a lot of it will be, delivering care packages and that kind of thing. So it's very different from what we normally do. And we had to figure that out from scratch in a very quick hurry. But here's what we found out, that the online broadcast of our services averages over 25,000 views every week. That's more than what we had before, a lot more, I promise you. We were able to take those broadcasts, deliver it to Cook County Jail. They can put it over the closed circuit TV. And now we're doing more prison ministry than we've ever done before. All of this is more. All of this is better. We would like it to be more depth than breadth, and that's a difference. But it's important for us to recognize that hard times don't make everything worse. If we rise to those challenges, they can make things much better. Romans 5 says, we know that suffering produces perseverance. Perseverance, character. That's those extra muscles you get from rising up to challenges. That's character. And character produces hope. And hope does not disappoint us because God has poured his love out into our hearts. We love you. Hang in there. We hope to see you soon.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Well, I once was lost, but now am found. I was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to fear, and grace my fears relieved. How precious did that grace appear the hour I first believed. Oh, the deep, deep love of Jesus, vast, unmeasured, boundless, free, rolling as a mighty ocean in its fullness over me. Underneath me, all around me, is the current of thy love, leading onward, leading homeward to thy glorious rest above. Through many dangers, toils and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace hath brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. The Lord has promised good to me, his word my hope secures, and he will my shield and portion be as long as life endures. Oh, the deep, deep love of Jesus, spread his praise from shore to shore. How he loves us, never loves us, changes never, nevermore. How he watches o'er his loved ones, died to call them all his own. How for them he's interceding, watching o'er them from the throne. Yes, when this flesh and heart shall fail, and mortal life shall cease, well, I shall possess within the veil a life of joy and peace. The earth shall soon dissolve like snow, the sun forbear to shine, but God who called me here below will be forever mine. Oh, the deep, deep love of Jesus, love of every, love the best. 'Tis an ocean full of blessing, 'tis a haven giving rest. Oh, the deep, deep love of Jesus, 'tis a heaven of heavens to me, and it lifts
Hey CCC family, it has been so fun to see so many of your faces on the Sunday morning worship service. But a few of the faces that we haven't gotten to see are the kiddos. So we thought we'd bring them to you this morning by asking them a couple of questions about their time at home these past few weeks. So the first question that we've asked them is, what is their favorite food right now?
My favorite food is cheese quesadillas.
Cheese quesadillas?
Broccoli. My mom's caramel coffee smoothie. Pizza. Sausage. Oranges. Fish, asparagus, cake, and ice cream. Spaghetti meatballs.
Cam. What?
Banana. And pie and crackers.
What is a food that your parents try to make you eat that you think is kind of disgusting?
I don't like vegetables.
Tomatoes.
Carrots. Avocados. Corn. She's picky. Enchiladas.
I love enchiladas.
Green beans. Lettuce. The burnt part of rice.
If you were an animal, what would you be and why?
A black panther, because they're really strong and sneaky.
I would like to be a monkey so I could climb trees and eat bananas.
My favorite animal is a cardinal, because you get to fly and they're red and they're songbirds.
I want to be like maybe an eagle. Well, first of all, they're really strong. You can fly. It's the Jefferson mascot. And we're gonna go to Jefferson next year.
I would be a hawk because they fly a lot fast.
Oh.
Really, really fast.
What about you, Anna Kate?
I'll be a lion because they can roar really loud.
Yes.
The shark.
Okay, what's yours, Mary Kay?
A unicorn.
What about a real animal?
A zebra.
Last question is, what do you miss about church?
Snacks. Yeah, the playing.
Like when you play?
The art stuff. My teachers. And donuts. Playing with my friends. Coloring.
Getting to sit next to my friends because we get to like worship together and stuff, and it's really fun.
What do you miss most about going to church?
Seeing people. I miss worshiping Jesus and also singing with my friends downstairs.
My friends and donuts.
Learning about Jesus. Seeing my friends and worshiping with my friends.
My friends.
I get to go in class and sing songs about Jesus. Jesus loves me, this I know.
Can you wave? Wave.
Hi. Yay. Hi. Say hi. Yay.
Hi you, everybody. Thank you.
Under his wings I am safely abiding, though the night deepens and tempests are wild. Still I can trust him, I know he will keep me. He has redeemed me, and I am his child. Under his wings, who from his love can sever? Under his wings my soul shall abide, safely abide forever. Safely abide forever. Praise to the Lord, the Almighty, the King of creation. Oh, my soul, praise him, for he is thy help and salvation. All ye who hear, now to his temple draw near. Join me in glad adoration. Under his wings, what a refuge from sorrow. How the heart yearningly turns to his rest. Often when earth has no balm for my healing, there I find comfort and there I am blessed. Under his wings, who from his love can sever? Under his wings my soul shall abide, safely abide forever. Safely abide forever. Praise to the Lord, oh let all that is in me adore him. All that have life and breath come now with praises before him. Let the amen sound from his people again. Gladly for we adore him. Under his wings, oh what precious enjoyment. There will I hide till life's trials are o'er. Sheltered, protected, no evil can harm me. Resting in Jesus, I'm safe evermore. Under his wings, who from his love can sever? Under his wings my soul shall abide, safely abide forever. Safely abide forever.
This is a time that we get together and we seek God's face. Like little kids, we bust into the curtain of the holies to holies, and we go to our daddy, our Abba Father, and ask for what we need. Let's do that now. Lord, I ask that you would bless my pastor as he preaches today. Thank you for a man with such a sweet heart. And we know that we are your friends. We never have to cower down. And we never have to be afraid. You want us to come to you more than we want to come to you. Help us to do so. Make us secure. Give us confidence and peace in our relationship with you. And we'll give you all the praise, because we are holy and we're a priesthood. We love you, Jesus. Amen.
Hey everyone, So a lot of people, because of the times we're in, have been thinking about raising these little guys. There was a tractor supply in Texas that was offering curbside delivery, and the line went back a mile. And you'd open the window, and instead of giving you Chick-fil-A, they'd give you the chick. So a few things you might want to remember. One is, they're not going to really start laying eggs for maybe 5 to 6 months. And then if it's not long after that they come up with a vaccine, you're going to have these guys for about 10 years. Another thing is, when the eggs come out, they have a lot more chicken poop on them than the ones you get in the store. And a third thing is, once you start collecting farm animals, you could wind up collecting something like this. But actually, a lot of people have started hoarding chicks. The same way they're hoarding this. So hoarding. Toilet paper. What's up with that? I was reading some articles, and some people believe that it has to do with having a sense of control. I was reading this other article, and Sigmund Freud would have said it has something to do with your childhood. But I think, like, hoarding stuff at the grocery store so that there's not for other people. Upon further review, it's probably just selfish, right? Like, I have to get what I have to get, and I can't really think about other people. But there is a selfish that is good. There's a selfishness that God would want you to have. There's a selfish that everybody in your life wants you to go for. So in John chapter 21, when Jesus was risen from the dead, and his guys knew that he was risen from the dead, and they had met with him in Jerusalem, and he told them, guys, you all go up to Galilee, and I'll meet you up there, and we'll talk about what happens next. And so they had gone to Galilee and were waiting, and Peter decided, okay, let's go fishing. So in some of the older books and about the Gospel of John, biblical scholars used to say that they went fishing because they were super discouraged and they were going back to their old life, which that is like totally not true. I mean, they weren't saying, let's go to Harrah's Casino and like booze and gamble all night. They were going fishing. They were waiting for Jesus and they were going fishing. This was probably late April, maybe early May. And if you could imagine this, there was no baseball to watch. So that's what they were doing. And they had fished all night. And then at a certain point, they realized that Jesus was on the shore. And so they swam and rowed to Jesus as fast as they could, because they had a lot of questions, because they knew, okay, the mission is on and he's going to be sending us like out into the world. I wonder, where he'll send us. They probably had questions like, are we going to be able to have like a preference, like 1, 2, or 3? Like 1, I would like to be sent to the French Riviera. 2, how about Malta? I hear it's awesome and it's cheaper than Italy. 3, Italy would be okay. But Peter found out that really Jesus had a question for him. And depending on how he answered it, if he didn't answer it well, no matter what their questions were about their future mission, they would have quit anyway. And Jesus' question for Peter wasn't, Peter, are your shots up to date? Peter, is your passport up to date? The question Jesus asked Peter was, Peter, do you love me more than these guys do? And Peter said, yes, Lord, you know I love you. And Jesus asked him another time, Peter, do you love me? And Jesus said, yes, Lord, you know I love you. And a third time, Jesus said, Peter, do you love me? And Jesus said, yes, Lord, you know I love you. So in older books about the Gospel of John, biblical scholars used to say, they used to call this the restoration. And what they said was the reason Jesus asked Peter 3 times if he loved him was because Peter had denied Jesus publicly. And so Jesus was kind of pushing him into a public confession of that. And Peter had denied Jesus 3 times, and Jesus was going to make him confess that publicly 3 times and kind of turn this whole thing into kind of a shame fest, which, as far as I'm concerned, shame as a motivator to doing ministry is super overrated. I totally did not believe that was what was happening. For one thing, it wasn't public. According to verse 20, Jesus and Peter had kind of gone on a walk by themselves. So it was just those two. Number 2, they had already talked about this. Jesus and Peter, this was the 4th time that Peter had seen Jesus risen from the dead. And the first time, it was a private conversation. And I'm absolutely sure that Peter was just probably blubbering all over himself. And he had confessed what he did, and he had admitted it, and Jesus had forgiven it. And John said, if we confess our sins, he's faithful and just to forgive us our sins. And if Jesus was going to bring it up again, that wouldn't be just. He wouldn't do it. It wouldn't be fair. They're forgiven. You know, the word forgive, to forgive, that Jesus forgives us, the actual original word, the Greek word in the New Testament, is a word that basically means to leave or to send away. And it's Jesus forgives all of it. He just sends it away. It's the same word that's used when it said when the devil was met with Jesus after over a month in the wilderness, then the devil showed up and he was trying to intimidate Jesus and he couldn't. And it says that he left. He could no longer threaten him. It's the same word that's used of a woman one time that Jesus took her hand and healed her, and her fever left her. It could no longer hurt her. It's the same word that's used of a woman who took a water jar to a well, and then she had this conversation with Jesus and realized it was the Messiah and ran away to tell all of her friends and the people of her town that she had met the Messiah. And it said she left the water jar because it no longer mattered to her, because she had had this amazing experience with Jesus. And when he forgives our sins, they can no longer threaten us. They can no longer hurt us. They don't matter to us anymore. 3, this story in John 21 is in the Gospel of John. The word gospel means good news. John said in chapter 5, he who hears my word and believes in him who sent me has everlasting life, will not come into judgment, but has already passed from death unto life. Paul said, I'm not afraid of the gospel, ashamed of the gospel. In Romans chapter 3, he said, all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God and are justified freely. Justified means that when you believe in Jesus, not only are you forgiven of everything you've done, you're forgiven of everything you ever will do. More than that, justified means that God pronounces you righteous. Like when Jesus died for us in that horrible way, our guilt was given to him, even though he had never done anything wrong. And when you trust in him in that instance, his righteousness is given to you, even though we've never probably done anything 100% right. And God said, you're righteous. In Genesis chapter 1, God said, let the waters above be divided from the waters below. And it was so. And then it says, let the waters be separated from the dry land. And it was so. And then it says, let the dry land produce trees and plants. And it was so. And God said, the moment you believed in Jesus, you are righteous. And it is so. You know, that morning, They had been fishing all night. They had caught nothing. And they heard a guy on the shore saying, guys, have you caught anything? Or as we would say here, are you doing any good? And they said, no. And Jesus said, throw your nets on the other side. And they did. And they caught a ton of fish. The first time that had happened was about 2 years before, when Jesus told Peter, who had been fishing all night and caught nothing, to go out into the lake and throw his nets in. And Peter was like, okay, you don't really do it like this and whatever, just because you say I'll do it. And his nets were full of fish. And he fell on his face in front of Jesus and said, Lord, get away from me. I'm a sinful person. But after 2 years and learning what it meant that Jesus died for us and is risen from the dead, as soon as his nets were full of fish again, he dove in the water and swam to Jesus as fast as he could, because he had learned there's no better place for a sinful person than dripping wet at the feet of Jesus. So what was going on here? Why did Jesus ask him, do you love me more than those other guys do? You know, many of you probably know that in the Gospel of John, you know, that he wrote it in the Greek language, and that Jesus was using one word for love. He was using the word agapao, where we get the word agape love. And when Peter answered back, he used the word phileo, which it's a verb that comes from the word friend. Like, Lord, I friend you. It's not like on Facebook. You know, it's not. You know where the tire store, like on the corner of your street, has that marquee out front that says, friend us on Facebook? And you're like, will we really be friends? You know, but it's a word that means to be friends. So agapao, like agape, it means to care about someone. It means to give to someone. It means to care so much that you would give even your very self. And Jesus has asked him, do you love me more than they do? And it's like, really? Do you want to make the Olympics out of this? I mean, how do I know if I win? Like, did I give more than other people do? Or I give myself, I sacrifice more than other people do? It doesn't seem like it would take long for that to be kind of unhealthy. There's another place in the New Testament, a whole chapter, that talks about what agape is, what it means to love someone. And the Apostle Paul there says, you could give everything you own and it not be love at all. You could sacrifice yourself for someone and it not necessarily be love at all. He said, love is smaller than that. Paul said, here's what that kind of love is. Love is patient. It's kind. It's about being kind. It isn't zealous. It's a word that means like to have be super fired up about your opinion and let everybody know it. He said, love isn't rude. That's a word that means, well, it really means like the idea is you respect other people and like you value them as people. So you're not a jerk. Love believes all things. You believe the best about people. It's kind of like love is starting to look a lot more like friendship. And if Jesus is making this into a race, like who could be the kindest? Who can be the least opinionated? Who could be a jerk the least often? Who believes the best about everybody the most? If it's a race, let the games begin. You know, like I think about like right now, like the way it is in like your world where like you're in your home, your family, your office, which is all kind of the same place right now. Wouldn't it be awesome if love, isn't it awesome when love looks a lot more like friendship? Like there's a guy who's like one of the leading experts on marriage in the country. And he basically says, couples that are happy, the reason that they're happy is that they're kind. Like he said, the leading indicator of stability and satisfaction in marriage is kindness. And when people have been married for like a long time, 30, 40, 50 years, and they're still happy, you know, they have that little smile on their face that only they understand. They're almost always, well, they're always kind. Because you have to be happy that way. And he said, couples that are unhappy, the reason that they're happy is basically, kind of like Paul said, they're jerks. Like they're mean to each other. He said, couples that are happy, they say and do the little things in the course of the day that communicate to their mate that they cherish them and that they cherish their friendship. There was one woman who's an expert in marriage, and she said, when she identified couples that were highly happy across the country and asked them, you test out highly happy. Why is that? They would always kind of give some answer, but she realized they were making it up because they didn't know. And she said the reason they don't know is because the things that couples that are happy, the reason they're happy is that they do little things and say the little things that you have to do and say, but they're so little they don't even realize they do them or say them. But everybody who's happy does them. And couples who are happy, they're kind. They're not jerks. And they believe the best. One person said, one of the keys to being happily married is that you have to believe that your mate is well-intentioned towards you. Couples that are happy believe the best about each other. It's super important right now that love looks a lot like that kind of friendship. But that would be great. But that's not what Jesus asked Peter. He said, Peter, do you love me? And Peter said, yes, Lord, I do. We're friends. And Jesus said, do you love me more than those guys do? It's kind of like Jesus was saying, if I had a best friend, would it be you? What if Jesus is saying that? If I had a best friend, wouldn't you want to be my best friend? Like, wouldn't you want to be the one that is kinder to me, that isn't a jerk to me, that believes the best about me? You know, I think that Jesus, well, he did say, and Paul says, our relationship with Jesus is like a marriage. It's like a person who has one person. And that's my loved one. That's my beloved one. That's the one. It's like we have a sweet secret that nobody knows but us. It's like there's always kind of a little smile on her face that nobody understands but us. It's like our relationship is a party, and we're the only ones invited to it. And that could be you, and that could be me. And it's like Jesus could have a best friend, and it could be you, and it could be me, and I could be his beloved. There's a place in the Song of Songs where it says, they're always trying to be alone. Arise, my beloved, and come away. The winter's past, the rain is gone, there's flowers in the field. The season of singing has come. Let's be alone. What if that was my relationship with Jesus and he wanted that with me? That I have a time during the day that I get alone with him and he's alone with me. And I open the scriptures and he tells me that he loves me. And I tell him that I love him. And there's a smile on my face the rest of the day that nobody understands but him and me. But then in the course of the day, I want to be kind to him. I knew a guy that gave blood at Medic one time, and they gave him a sticker that said, "Be kind to me. I gave blood for you." And he didn't know what to do with it, so he stuck it over the crucifix on his wall. And every day Jesus said, "Be kind to me today. I gave blood for you." And that I wasn't a jerk to him during the day, but I said the little things and did little things in the course of the day that I was telling Jesus, I cherish you and I cherish our friendship. And I believe the best about you. And if something happens that isn't pleasant, I'm not going to say, why is Jesus letting that happen to me? Why does it? I'm going to say, I don't know, but I believe you love me. And there's something kind about this, and you're doing something great. Call it selfish if you will. But if you could be his best friend, I want to be. I want to be. And everybody in your life that loves you would say to you, please do that. Please give your heart to that. You're the best you when you try to be his best friend. And I tell you what, somebody in your life might say, okay, let's make a race of it. You try to be his best friend, and I'll try to be his best friend all day. And we'll be our best us all day. It's what I love the best about you. And then maybe with your mate, climb into bed at night. And she'll say to you, you won. And you can say to her, no, you won. And you can say to each other, it's been a great day.
Hello, Triple C. Just want to encourage you guys. I'm John Jackson. I get the privilege and honor to sing a song that I sing literally probably at least twice a week in the summer for like 7 weeks at Young Life's Camp. One of my favorite songs. I like to encourage the kids that God loves them right where they are. And as we worship to this song, know that if you have doubts, if you have fears during this time, if you got it all together, if you don't have hope, God loves us right in the midst of it all. So I also want to do some shout outs. Give a shout out to Elliot, to Devin, of course to Lee, to Pastor Joe. Thank you all for the opportunity to worship again with you guys. Be my echo. No one like you, Lord. No one who can love me like you I'm ashamed of all my past. You're seeking me with love that lasts. You love me as I am. I like this one. When all I feel is loss and pain, and I don't know what I should pray, you tell me do not be afraid. You love me as I am. There's no one like you, Lord. No one who can love me like you do, Lord. You love me as I am. Like this verse. When loneliness is all I found, and everyone had let me down, you say you'll always be around. You love me as I am. When tears and hurt are all I've known, and when my heart can't find a home, you say you want me for your own, God. You love me as I am. There's no one like you, Lord. No one who can love me like you do, Lord. Yeah. You love me as I am. This is my favorite verse. You gave your life, you made a way, you stirred my heart, you called my name. When I got tired of my own way, let's loop this. You love me as where I was, yeah. You love me where I was, God. You love me where I was, yeah. You love me as I am. There's no one like you, Lord. No one who can love me like you do. Hey, love me like you do. Oh, love me like you do, God, yeah. You love me as I am. You love me as I am, God. You love me as I am. You love me as I am. I can't stop the beat. Oh, you can fade it out right now. Oh God, you love me as I am.
When I have had enough and this life feels too much and I just want to run away. When I am underneath the weight of everything everything.